All right, all right, all right. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? How you doing? I hope everybody's doing well. I'm back. Thank you for letting me take the day off yesterday. Um, I got to go to by Frost and myself. Uh, got to go to a festival, a jazz festival, Texas State Jazz Festival, and some really great bands, a lot of good fun. And we were unsure if it was going to happen. So we were kind of waiting till the last minute. We got notification late Thursday, early Friday that they were going to do the jazz festival. And so we just kind of last minute said, "Hey, I'm not doing the stream. We're going to go focus on that." I have uploaded the video. If you haven't seen that, go check out this. They did pretty good. They're the smallest school in the bunch, uh, 28 to 30 kids or something like that. But it was a lot of fun. Good time. A lot of good music being played. Love the jazz, and Texas State did a really good job putting that together. All right, let's say some how do you do's. Coin Junkies in the house. Thank you for being a member. Appreciate you. Ringmaster Ray, what's up, brother? Hope you are well. Hope you're doing good. Eric Byers in the house. AZ Coins. Thank you for being a member, good sir. Eric, thanks for all your support. I really appreciate it. UCI to Learn is in the house. Always a good supporter. I'll talk a little bit about that. She wanted to know about my avatar. I'll talk a little bit about what my avatar is. Links 59, Stan Horn, thanks for being here. Good to see you. Oh, love Naruto. Have him fighting on my wall. Yeah, that's so I'll talk a little bit about that. It's a pretty cool animation thing my daughter kind of did, and we decided to blend it up and make it my avatar. So um we did some AI upgrades here about a couple months ago and turned out really good. So thanks for asking. All right. Yeah. Oh, it was fun. The jazz festival was a lot of fun. If you've never been to a jazz festival for a high school, basically what they do is they have a 3 or 5 judge panel, and then the bands play depending upon their school, 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, 5A. We're a 4A school, but we're competing with 2A, 3A schools. And so we're doing really well. The band is extremely good, especially for being so small. The entire complement of the entire high school jazz band makes up about, like I said, 20 kids, and they have a really, really big sound for such a small group. People are kind of taken back when they hear the group. So it was a lot of fun. Again, I posted that video in the link. Actually, you know what? Let me do this. Let me pin that. And if you're interested in seeing that, you can go up and check that up later on. A lot of fun. Blistering Barnacles, good day, sir. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Um, yeah, it's a lot of fun. I should have recorded more, but there are rules about recording and live streaming, and I didn't want any of the groups to get into trouble. And I kind of got caught up in the minute after I recorded the first one, and it was fun. It was fun. It was a lot of good time. Got to spend some time with my girl, and it was good. So a good day. So apologize for taking that off short notice, but it was nice to be able to go hang out and do that, and then again come back in and do this. Brown Sugar, what's up? Good to see you. Hope you were doing well. Thanks for coming in and hanging out. Um, Hope you are well. All right. Well, we have a staple up here. So welcome again, the one and only. Have you got your coffee yet, Mr.
I
Eric
did.
Byer?
I sure did. Matter of fact, it's almost half gone.
Oh, hey, what's going on, coach? Yeah, the jazz festival is fun.
Good, good.
Um, the one thing that I really tried really hard as a dad is to I'm going to say subject my daughter to a wide variety of art and music and culture and literature and things of that nature.
Well, that's good. You only
And
get to do it once, so
well,
take your chances.
she's got she's got a love for kind of eclectic stuff. So she obviously you guys have seen the artwork that she does. Uh, she plays like 3, 4, 5 instruments, I think. Is learning how to sing. She's self-teaching herself to piano. Um, just extremely talented, loves everything from Charlie Pride to Black Sabbath.
Well, that's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
and, it's fun. One of her she's started collecting, vinyl. So, I've got her a bunch of old vinyl, Patsy Cline, Charlie Pride, uh, Don Williams, and then brought her into some Y&T and, uh, some of that stuff, and just, you know, uh, South African music, Johnny Clegg, Ladysmith Black Mambazo, just really wide varieties of stuff, and she's a fan of the arts, and so it's a lot of fun to kind of support that, and because her and I, uh, we both share that passion and love for arts and music and stuff. So it's a lot of fun to share that with her and do that with her, and of course, volleyball and the other stuff that she does. So quite a talented girl. Oh yeah, see, that's me. I mean, anybody who's a parent knows, right? I mean, because he said he'd drive 500 miles just to make sure he was there for his daughter's band recital.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, and that's the thing. But it's it's sad that a lot of people don't take time for their kids.
Well, they always, I think, with good intentions, they're doing this because they got to make work or they got to do that. But that was my point is, you only get to do this one time. So take advantage of any opportunity you can get.
Exactly. Yeah.
I made that. Fortunately, I had a ton of kids. Uh, but I made that mistake with a couple that I didn't participate enough because I was busy. And that's not a really good excuse.
Well, they say the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Um, or but it's one of those things where you can do all the right things for all the right reasons and not have the result that you want.
That's right. That's right.
And so all you can do is make the effort. And there's a lot of times coming from a divorce house, she spends most of her time with her mom, but we try to make the best of it and really try to do what we can. And so what I can bring to the table is culture and try to really acculturate her to a wide variety, and she likes it, and so I'm teaching her about coins. Because we'd had that conversation. She started looking through Morgan dollars and started looking through the peace dollars and started looking through my Merck book. Speaking of, I got a couple thank yous, and I got to give out to some people. And she was like, "Dad, how come these are so much money?" Like, looking through some of the Morgans and looking at a couple of the CCs. Why is this so much money? What is it about it? And then being able to talk with her about it. It's fun. I mean, it really is fun. And I love all you guys. I appreciate all the support, but my girl comes first, man. So I had to take that time. So I appreciate you guys being patient with me and checking in, making sure things were good. But anyway, I'm back. So how are you doing? You said earlier that you were a little sore. You've been doing some.
Oh yeah, out doing yard work. I'm putting the last part of my fence together in the back, and of course, the hard part's not the fence. The hard part is I've got to clear the brush back about 2 feet behind the fence, and it's palmettos and it's everything else. And then, of course, the fence is old that is left there, and it's buried into the ground, and roots are running through it. So it's been, like yesterday, I did maybe 20 feet. And it was all I could do.
It's hard work. Anytime if you're digging ditches or using a winch or ditch witch, things of that nature.
It was all
It's
by
like,
hand, shovel.
well, but that's where I was going. It's like people are like, doing a fence isn't that rough, man.
Oh, doing the
I
fence ain't bad. It's cleaning the area so the fence can go in. That's bad.
going on, Brandon. Yeah, and again, pulling out old stumps and
Yeah.
digging out. Oh man, did you have to dig out the old concrete?
There's no concrete in it. This is like one of those like wire fences. It's one that you don't need a permit. All the other stuff, that fence is done, and that was kind of easy to do. The fences on the side and the gates and all that. I got that done when Mickey and Chuck were visiting. And then I started working on the back fence. But then, as soon as the back fence is done, I don't have to worry about letting my dogs out and having them get eaten by a bobcat or something,
Right.
being that they're like 10 pounds apiece.
So if you guys are entering into chat, my chat is not moving on either side, the StreamYard or the YouTube side. It's like dead. I don't know if I have issues or whatnot. I'm trying to close out the browser and come back in, but right now I can't see chat. So bear with me for just a minute as I work through that. Um, yeah, Eric, it's a pain in the butt. But
And
so you're
old
talking
age
about
doesn't help.
those old metal posts?
Yeah. Yeah. And they're easy. I'm taking a 3-foot fence out, putting a 4-foot fence in. The posts and the fence is easy stuff, except for right now where I'm at. There were 9 trees that were blown down during the hurricane. And of course, they don't take the stumps out, and it's a vacant lot. So the stumps are actually encroaching on my property line. So I'm just going to go around.
Okay. Sorry about that. I'm focusing on trying to get my chat back. I think I'm back. Me says I do have issues. So how much more of the fence do you have to do? How much
I've got
more?
about 50 foot before I can actually, I've got all the poles put in, but about 50, maybe 40 foot, about 6 to 8 poles. And this should be the easy side because it's not like full of palmettos and uh, different cabbage palms and stuff like that are coming up.
So you have a lot of trees on your property?
This isn't this is bordering the property in the back, which is vacant land.
Oh, I got you. I
And
got you.
so everything grows, you know, like
Right up to
crazy
the
up
fence
until the
line.
fence.
Yeah. They don't make you do so the area behind you, is it like a green area?
It's all trees and brush and scrub and everything else.
So they don't do because like here in Texas, when our house backs up to a green area, we have to maintain like a 15-foot easement.
No, because this is actually owned by somebody.
Oh, okay, I
And
got you.
these
I
are
got you.
actually vacant lots that haven't been built on yet. So once they build on them, that fence will have to go. That's why I could put a temporary fence in. But I'm just hoping that the person that builds behind there, if they ever build behind there, wants a fence. Then it can go in. They're kind of, you got to ask your neighbors. And if your neighbors don't want one, the fence has got to be 2 foot back onto your side,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah, see that we back right up against us. So we have Army Corps of Engineers maintains the area behind us. But if any of our stuff grows in, it's our responsibility to go through and check that out. So I wasn't sure if you had the same setup
Yeah,
or
I maintain it up to the fence line. I get like a weed whacker with a metal blade on it. I just chop it all up, down up the fence line. But anything on the other side, it can go 20 years. The only reason part of it cleared out is we had the hurricane. So we lost 25 trees that was in it, 25 huge, either oak or some sort of palm or evergreen like cedar or something like that. I'm not sure exactly what it was. A lot of
right.
palms, but it just grows. And of course, it's Florida, so right now we've had cold weather, so most of the stuff has died back. So it'll take till April, and then you won't be able to see through it.
Oh, I got you.
It'll be jungle.
Yeah, I got you. Do you know the people that own the property behind you?
Well, part of it, and I don't know them, and I think that the people that live in the house are actually tenants, not the owners,
Oh, I got you.
and they still haven't even fixed their house. I have a feeling that the house is empty and that they're just going to let it go back to the bank or something because the roof got blown off in Ian, and they haven't fixed the holes in the roof yet.
Oh yeah,
So
there's probably nobody even there.
yeah, there was a year ago. They still had tarps over it, but I noticed that the tarps are taken down. Uh, but all the shutters are still up. So I'm thinking that whoever lived there did finally move out.
I couldn't imagine living in a home and not being able to get it repaired.
It's
You know,
right
and I know
here.
you guys have had situations where you could not get the work done. Like it
That's
was
it.
impossible for
It's
insurance and
not
everything else.
money or anything like that. It's finding a contractor to do the
Yeah,
work.
you can't it's not a matter of not doing it. You just
Yeah.
can't find people.
Like my
Yeah.
pool cage got destroyed. A bunch of trees fell on it. They're supposed to come put a new one in March. The other stuff, the fence, I rebuilt it by myself. The office and the bathroom and the other bedroom, I've done that by myself. Put all the new drywall in,
Oh, I got you.
insulation, all that
Yeah.
stuff. Uh, I still got a hole in the kitchen ceiling, but the hole is fixed in the roof, and the roof is repaired. But I still got to put the drywall up. But there's like I got to cut around lights, and I don't know. I've just been putting it off. Uh, but I'm going to do that myself. But like I have to have the roof replaced still, and it's still like over 9 months out before the guy can come and do my roof.
Well, and the problem is they
Unless I
probably
want to
got a
pay 50
list
grand.
40 pages long.
That's the issue. You can get your roof done right away if you want to pay 30, 40, $50,000 for a $12,000 roof.
Thanks for the super chat there, Invisible. Appreciate you. Yesterday was Invisible River's birthday, so a happy belated to him.
Yep, Azar, that's the normal, even if you pay up. But if you want to get it for what the actual value is, well, I signed the contract in November of 2022 for this roof. And he told me, he says, I'm going to take, your roof is fine. It's repaired. It needs new decking put on the back under the roof. So he took it and took all the old shingles off, put new wood where the holes were from the trees, and he did that. But like he said, he goes, that's not permanent. That's like a 5-year fix. So by the time we're all caught up, we will be able to do your roof.
Now, so yeah, some of that stuff is, I mean, you got to do it, right? But
Yeah.
man,
Yep.
all right. So I got to pin this one. So if you guys don't know about this, make sure you guys go check this out. Raven Hawk is having his 20K celebration, and Invisible is going to be giving away some gold tonight. So go check that out. UCI to Learn is a new member. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. Outstanding. But go check that out. Do me a favor. Can one of my mods go out and grab um, the link for Ravenhawk, and let's throw that in chat. Um,
I
20th
mean,
ounce of gold, beauty.
people collect other stuff besides copper.
Yeah, well, I collect weird stuff. Oh, you know what I don't have?
Oh, I do
I've got to
too.
step away from my computer for just a minute. What do you have? What do you have showing there on the screen?
1950s RPM number 1.
Very nice. Did you see the short that I made the other day?
No.
I found something pretty cool.
What did you find?
Well, you know that I've been looking for and looking through the 1953s.
Mm-hmm.
1mm001.
Oh, nice. That's one of my favorites.
It's a pretty one too. I mean,
Matter
it's
of
not
fact,
in a great shape, but it's very clear.
the last
Um,
stream that I was on, I was searching AUBU rolls, and I found 253D RPMs, number 5 and number 6.
oh, nice. It's the
I don't
first
know.
find that I've had in like 3 months, 2 months. I was just like, oh, oh, please tell me it's number one. It looked like number two. And I was like,
Well,
tell me
number
it's
2 is
number one.
pretty hefty too. Yeah,
They're
number 2
both
is,
nice, but
yeah,
one was the one I was looking at, FS 501.
one of the first wheat rolls I ever searched had like a dozen BU RPM number 1s in it, and that
Oh,
was like 2000, maybe 1999.
but see, here's the thing about that. Oh, dirty water. You find so many cool things. I always like going to Lead
Oh
Point
man,
Q&A, and it's dirty
I can't
water's
tell
always
you.
finding amazing stuff.
And you've heard this. I can't tell you how many 1983P Lincoln Cents I've searched looking for DDR number 1. And after 20 years, I
Oh,
just bought it. And I bought a copy at one
yeah.
of our shows. But
That Dirty Water has got some cool stuff. They've found some really, really neat stuff.
yeah, thousands and thousands of bank wrapped rolls of 83p, and get them from the same people. Like I went to a show one time and I bought 5 and another guy bought 5 from the same person. He found 20 and I found 0. And it was just like, how can they come from the same source? I know how, but you would think that all 10 rolls came from the same source. Obviously, he bought 5 one week and 5 another week or something like that. And I got the wrong 5. But yeah.
Me says, I have a roll of 83s. And I said, send them to me.
I have like 84p is the same way. I probably searched 1,000 rolls.
Well, and the thing is, and again, sometimes I look at people and go, how the hell are you finding this stuff? And I stop and go, they're looking a lot.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't have the opportunity to look. I'm not looking. Coin Junkie's the same way, right? Coin Junkie, how many rolls of 2009's formative years did he look through before finding some killer sets? The one roll was so much fun when he went through it. It was just like, I think it was like 11 or something like that. Roll after roll after roll after roll. But you have to go through a lot to find a
That's
few.
right. Especially in the newer stuff. In the 60s, you find a lot of stuff. Especially like 61 and before, you find a lot of stuff. But like in the 80s, 90s, 97p is another one. I bought probably 25 mint sewn bags of 97p. Never found a thing in them.
Yeah, you probably searched hundreds of thousands. That's what I just put in there. Just a few hundreds of thousands of cents.
Yeah. Yeah, and never found them. But then you get one person searches one roll and they find a dozen of them.
Well, it's like the one that I found, the SFS 801, the formative years one.
Yeah.
I wasn't even looking for it. We were doing a penny battle.
Yeah.
We were looking for weed cents. And I happened to pull it up and I was like, no way.
Yeah, and I found a lot of good stuff in rolls. I mean,
Yeah.
I found a lot of really good stuff, but not that one. And I actually pursued it. That like around 1998, 99, 2000, that was like a big one that people were still hunting for. That's like the 80s RPMs, like 85, 86, 87, 88, 89 D RPMs. I've searched a lot of rolls for RPMs and they're tough to come by, and they're only going to get tougher because they're zinc.
This made me laugh, coach. Oh, I won't leave that up long. Oh, too much fun. So what I can't see that one. Hold on. Let me make it bigger.
There we go.
Oh yeah, there's the baby.
That's the one I bought. And I'm glad I bought it when I did, because they've almost tripled in price in the last 3 years.
Mine was a box of customer wrapped rolls. Over a box, 50 of them were 1983.
That's pretty good. That means that person had those for a long time.
Yeah.
But
that's pretty cool.
You could almost see it.
Yeah, for those of you who haven't searched coins, sometimes it can get really aggravating. And
it's not going to happen
today. Hold on just a minute. So this stream is only an hour and a half. Okay, we don't have enough time to answer this question.
Yeah, hundreds and hundreds of different varieties, from big stuff to bluegill stuff.
Yeah, there's some really cool varieties of all makes and models, right? You got RPMs, DDOs, DDRs. There's some really cool die clashes. There's a lot of cool stuff in those years. So a lot of cool stuff. And it's 63D. There's like what, 200 and something of them.
Oh no, 63D. I think there's maybe 40 RPMs listed.
Oh no, I'm thinking 60. I'm thinking 60, right?
Yeah, 60. I think
60 is the big one.
That I'm adjusting my figures because I talked to Chuck yesterday, and he has somebody that he trusts that says that they have 120 decent RPMs that aren't listed on copper coins, and that'll put us up over at about 400. So I'm thinking that by the time it's all said and done, they'll be over 400.
So me just sent me a picture of 4 BU 1963D rolls. And he's like, what about them? I only
They're
have 5 rows of coins, and those are the 64s and the 83. Well, besides his silver, he's got a bunch of silver. But
you know what, Jackalope? I was the same way, and I searched high and low. The 95, I ended up buying one raw and having it graded, and it was really nice. And after a year, it had a big old fingerprint on it. But now you can get them. There's so many of them. You can get them reasonable.
yeah, so Invisible River Ranch, that's a great point, and that's something that um it's fun to look at coins with a coin scope because you can see it really. It's like you
And
can make it really, really, really big.
that's
But
what I've
there's
had to start doing is I've had to start saying I can't list this because the only way you can see it is through a coin scope.
yeah, but again, that's the litmus test, right? You want to make sure that you have that because a lot of times, uh, you know, uh, Paula's favorite words, pareidolia, right? You'll start
Yep,
to see things
you
in the
do.
coins. So when you pull it out and the lighting changes and you put it up to your eye and you look and you actually see, it's like, oh yeah, it's not there. But if you can't see that on a 10 or a 20x loop,
A
it's
10x.
too
That's what
small.
I use. Uh, in most everything you see on a 10x, you can see on a
Oh, Gary.
or on a 14x, you can see on a 10x. That's the threshold I use. This is for EMR. That way we don't just say about pennies. Not that you'll be able to see it. But yeah, uh, the 10x, if I see it with a 14x and then I can't see it with a 10x, I usually don't list it. And I can see a lot through a 10x. I can see a lot of stuff that other people can't see.
Hey, Chief's here. What's going on?
Hey,
Good morning,
Chief.
brother. Good to see you, bud.
But I search more than pennies. I actually search for lots of stuff. I
Yeah, I
search.
don't search. I don't search as much as I should. I've had. Remember, I told you I was going to search the 59 roll.
Yeah,
It's still sitting right here.
yeah. My thing is I just have so many pennies.
Yeah.
I've got probably over 20,000 rolls of BU pennies, so I
So
could search every day.
Dirty Water asked a question. Can you answer that one, Eric?
Why is the 1958 Lincoln DDO listed on copper coins, not listed on copper coins? Is it not listed on copper coins? It's probably because there's only two of them known, and we didn't have the ability to get the coin to take photographs of. The chances of you finding a 58 DDO are probably slimmer than any other coin, and they're worth $1 million. I got the opportunity to hold one at the fun show 2 years ago. Well, not hold it, but look at it, because the person that owned them passed away, and he was selling. They were liquidating his collection through Heritage. So, but that's why. It's not because we don't recognize it. Matter of fact, I'm sure we do. I don't know why it wouldn't be listed on there. I never paid attention because that's one coin that I looked for when I first started, and then I heard the stories behind it, and I've never really looked at it again. Yeah, it's not
Yeah, and
listed
one
here.
thing, just to clarify, for those of you who don't understand kind of what Eric's talking about, in order for Chuck to list something on his site, he needs to be the one taking that photo. He can't take somebody else's photo and post it on his site They need to have that picture. They need to take that photo. They need to investigate it, list it. Um, because unless you have special permissions, like Wexler varieties or Wexlers, right? You have Variety Vista, you have Kaneka, and you have to have permissions in order to utilize their photos or share their listings. And so you can't just take it arbitrarily and then list it as your own. So there's a lot of permissions and stuff that needs to be there. This is why you'll see stuff on one site and not the other.
Yep.
So when you're looking at listings, it's really, really good that you go to multiple locations and multiple places. I just realized that I was still showing your screen. Um, it's important to look at all of those items. It's important to have a variety of resources available to you because the thing that you're looking at may be listed one place and not the other.
That's right.
So again, just when you're looking at that, again, we'll provide information to you. I'm not rebuilding the wheel. Okay. Livecoin Q&A has a phenomenal resource of all varieties and what you can find, what coin and where. I'm not going to rebuild that for you. I'll send you there. Let's utilize the resources that we have, work smarter, not harder. But if you're looking up cents, copper coins, Kaneka, Variety Vista, Wexlers, they're all for something you want to have open when you're looking because it's really good to cross reference. And
That's true
sometimes,
because they're wrong. Sometimes somebody's wrong. You'll look across the
and
listings and you'll see
it's
two different
actually
coins.
more common than you think too.
That's right.
Um, where you'll have two listings that are the same die.
You'll see that on when I do the listings. Matter of fact, last week I just moved 3 or 4 listings to where I found that they were double listed. And it wasn't the fact that it was easy to tell, it was the fact that another coin came forward and linked the 2 coins. Like in my notes, the one was suspected of being this die pair, but I couldn't, without a doubt, uh, link the 2 coins together. And then the third coin came, and I could link it to both coins. So then I moved the one into the lower number, whatever number's lower.
So really quickly, Coach asked a question, and I'm actually glad because this is something that I had asked a long time ago, and I actually have the thing listed here. I wanted to pull that up. So I'm going to post that for you, Coach. You can go over and check out that link. It's on PCGS, and they talk about Buddy Epstein, Penny Marshall, Jerry Buse. They talk about some of the other people who have Paul McCartney, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, all these people that do various coin collecting and wanted to look at stuff. And they wanted to kind of talk about stuff like that. But if you're interested in finding out there's a lot of famous people that collect coins. They do a lot for the coin community, a lot for the hobby. But that's a really good article. Go check that out. It was written year and a half ago, somewhere in that time frame. But go check that out. Um, there's a lot of stuff on there. A lot of people that have changed and moved, and where stuff have gone to. Um, but yeah, it's they're actually Shamil, Shamazel, Hoffenpaf Incorporated, right? And so they actually talk about that. So if you're interested in looking at that, that's there. Um, again, so I'm going to go ahead and pull up. I'm going to let Brandon come up for a little bit. You have any problem with that, Eric?
I do not.
So Brandon, go ahead and click on that link. I'll let you come on up and hang out. But remember, we're going to be talking coins. Okay. We're talking this channel, not yours, buddy. Okay. That's the only rule for today. But there's a lot of cool things in there. The what was his name? The Muppet dude,
Jim Henson.
Jim Henson, was a big well, no, he's not on a short leash. It's just I want to make sure that we're talking coins, stuff like that. So come on up and hang out, but I don't want people talking about their channel. Because I only get one day this weekend. So there's things that I want to go over and talk about. But yeah, so it's a really good question, but there's a lot of people that that do that. So it is a lot of fun. All right. So speaking of King Farouk of Egypt was the most prolific coin collector. I think he has, if I'm not mistaken, he has one of the, or had a 13 V nickel or Liberty
13B,
nickel.
right? I wonder who has those because there's
The
4 of
13,
them known.
well, there's supposed to be 5, but one of them
Right, but
is,
one is lost.
yeah, nobody knows where it's at.
And there's a story that goes along with that it was lost. There was some accident. It was in an armored car and it was lost on the road and never found. I just don't know about that, but that's the story that I have heard, that people metal detect the area all the time and they still find stuff on the road, but they haven't found that.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see if somebody found it or if like it got picked up in like a street sweeper or,
Right.
I mean, there's no telling where that thing is now. But yeah, well, and that's what's fun about that. Here's Brandon. Hey, what's going
Hello
on,
there.
Brandon? How you
Just
doing, bud?
fine. Are there any swear words in this chip?
Not for the most part.
Oh.
But yeah, there's a lot of those
All
types
right.
of coins that
It
can
says there's
be.
actually 5 known.
And when you want to come back to my channel?
When are you streaming next, Brandon?
2:00.
Let me see if I can get. I'll try to get there. Email me the link, okay?
Why are you sending pictures on your email about what day you want to have a stream with me?
Oh, when do you want me and you to do the stream? We'll talk about that through email, dude. This is not the place to do that, okay?
This is not the place to restream this on right now.
No, well, not to be talking about when we're going to stream. You and I can do that over email, okay?
Okay.
So
I can So it's not the good time to restream it on your channel.
no, we'll figure that out, but we'll do that. We'll do that later, okay?
I'm doing one on my channel at 2 and 3.
Okay. Well, I'll come over and see. I'll come over and meet you on your channel, okay?
Why about hop on the panel?
I can come up on panel at 2:00. Okay.
I'll on StreamYard and I'll on Restream because I need to save space on StreamYard.
Okay. All right. Well, then I'll see you at 2:00. Okay, bud.
How much do you love my channel?
It's cool. But again, Brandon, we're going to be talking about what I want to talk about today. Okay.
Okay.
So I will talk to you later. Okay, bud.
Okay.
Okay. We'll see you later. Okay.
All right. Yeah, the Walton specimen is the one that was lost in the accident.
So there's 5 known, but there's only 4 that people can account
No,
for, right?
there is 5 that nickel had been found, according to this. We're all right. I'm reading it right now.
Hey, what's going on, farm dog?
All right. The Walton specimen was the one that was believed to be lost in a car crash en route to a coin show. In July 2003, the ANA offered $1 million or $10,000 for just letting representatives see the 5th coin if it was in existence. And the Walton heirs brought the coin to the ANA convention, so the coin never left the house. So now there's 5 specimens. There is the Eliasberg specimen, the Olson specimen, the Norwib specimen, the Walton specimen, and the McDermott specimen. And 3 are in museums and 2 are in private collectors' hands. So they are all accounted for at this point.
Well, that's good. I didn't know that. I thought there were only 4. So I know there were 5 coins, but I didn't realize that
When I
all
heard
5
that
were accounted for.
story with the 4 coins, that would be pre 2003. And that's when this
Yeah, yeah, that's good
supposedly
to know.
happened.
I'll have to read on that because that's one of
And
those they're still kind of so that was originally designed or minted for 5 brothers, right? Or, like a royal family or something like that, and eventually they were kinda sold or given away as gifts?
I think so.
'Cause the story is kind of
Samuel
I need to
Brown.
brush up on that one.
Yeah, Samuel Brown sold all 5 1913 Liberty Head nickels. And he sold them, or let's see, they were taken from the mint. So I'm surprised they're even legal. Um, Kept them to his clan, right? His estate was auctioned off in 1936.
But again, it's still
Newman,
like the 1933 St. Gaudens Double Eagle. There's still a few of them that are authorized by law to own, but they're special occurrences.
yeah, this Walton specimen. It tells the story that in 1945, he died in a car, or no, 1962, he died in a car crash en route to a coin show. Promised the show's promoters that he would exhibit the 1913 nickel there, so it was assumed that it was in his possession at the time of his crash. $250,000 worth of coins were recovered from the crash site. It says, including the 1913 nickel, which was protected in a custom-made holder. When Walton's heirs put his coins up for sale in 1963, the nickel was returned to them. So obviously somebody else found the nickel. Oh, because the auction house had mistakenly determined the coin to not be genuine.
Oh,
All right.
that's
As a result, the coin
that's a
remained,
little mistake.
as a family possession, stored in a strongbox in the floor for over 40 years. In 2003, the ANA arranged to display the 4 known specimens. As a publicity stunt, public relations consultant and former ANA governor Don Perlman launched a nationwide hunt for the 5th specimen. He arranged with Bowers and Marina Auction House, at the time a division of Collectors Universe, which was PCGS, I believe,
Right.
to offer minimum $1 million to purchase the 5th coin, or as a guarantee to consign it to one of their public auctions. In addition, $10,000 reward was offered simply for letting representatives of Bowers and Marina to see the missing 5th coin when it was found. After learning about the rewards, the Walton heirs brought the coin to the ANA convention, where experts at PCGS examined it in length and compared it to the other 4 known specimens that were there, and it was determined that it was genuine. Then the coin was auctioned off in 2013 for $3.172 million.
That's insane.
Yep.
Could you imagine having a family member that worked in the mint, like a great grandfather or something
Yeah.
way back in the day, who had some of these old coins? You had them in your collection. You had no idea what your great grandfather had given you or whatnot, only to find out that it's a $800,000 or $1 million coin.
Yep. Absolutely.
It's
So
just
that
how much
is,
is out there that nobody knows they have.
yeah, that's a new twist to the story. It's great to hear something like that.
Yeah, that's crazy. So I seen All Things Silver. Do you know who that is? I did that as a total joke. So y'all know, yeah, yeah, that's so there's a lot of cool things. I'll do, you know what? Matter of fact, I think that would be fun. I'll have to coordinate that with some people. I think Nick, having you up, having Eric, Paula, there's a couple other people that I want to bring up. Mr. McMahon Bun. It's exactly. It's Joe McBride. Um, I did a thing that had Joe's face on it. So if you look at that, you can't see it very well, but that's actually Joe McBride's face put onto that bikini dude. Oh, it's hilarious. But I think that would be a really fun episode is to talk about um, mint employees and the tactics and things over the years that they've done and how they've got caught stealing from the mint.
Or how they didn't.
Or how, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the guy who hollowed out the heel of his shoe and put in a little device that slid in. I think that would be really fun. I'm going to coordinate that. I'll get some people together. We'll each come up with a story. I think that would be a really fun episode. Let's if you guys think that would be fun, do me a favor, put a thumbs up in chat. Because I think that would be fun where it would be I think it would be a lot of fun. I think what I'd have to do though is I would have to probably coordinate that in a time because I don't know if we could get through all of them in an hour and a half. I think I'd need more time to do that, so I'd probably have to do a special stream for that. But I think that would be I think that would be a lot of fun. I think a lot of people would enjoy that. So I'll coordinate that. Um, not this coming week, probably the week following, and get some stuff together. So expect emails from me, um, Nick and Eric. I think that'd be cool.
All right.
That'll be fun. I think that'll be a cool episode. But yeah, there's so many things. One thing I would really like to do, and I did a video on it, didn't do very well. I'll need to remake it now that I kind of have a little bit more skill stuff put together, and that is I want to update based off of new information on the Henning nickel once Joe Cronin's book comes out, and then I want to get information on the Omega Man and some of the conspiracy theories about who
Yep.
they believe might be the developer of that. So, because they have a couple different theories on that.
I'm not real. I know of the Omega Man. I'm not familiar with the theories of it. I'll have to look into that.
So, two of them, they're the only two that I really know of, is that it wasn't a person, it was a team of people, people who had experience and knowledge in minting, had access to gold, was able to get the dies from the mint. So, like inside job type thing. And there was like a whole team that put together uh the groups of whatever that were able to get the planchets because they're genuine coins other than the fact that they're not.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
it's all they're authentic dies. All the items are there, the markers are there, the right year. They didn't span years, but they did have that Omega Man in the three locations across. I think it's the 5, the 10, and the $20 coin.
Oh, I'm sure you get like a CT scan every time you go in and out of the buildings now.
Oh yeah, it's pretty rough for that. But so it would be fun to kind of go through. But one of the conspiracy theories that I was talking to Paula about was when I did the counterfeit story that included Mark Hoffman. She was like, there's a theory that he probably could have been one of the people in his early days who had the skill to do something like that.
Yeah.
And when you think about, you talk about that mule error, the 59 mule error, they believe that he was probably the one that counterfeited that one.
Well, they're still
Because
arguing whether that's counterfeit or not.
Right. Well, and that's the thing.
Uh,
So when you're talking about, and Mark Hoffman made a quote, and I'm going to paraphrase because I'll massacre if I try to say it exactly. But he's like, in all intensive purposes, if it looks real, feels real, tests real, and fools the people who were the experts, by all accounts, it's real.
That's true.
And so his comment was kind of, when you look at those items, when you look at what he counterfeited and the value, the potentials, it's a good theory. It really is. And you know, what other things are out there that he could have created that he didn't find, but other people that he gave or staged may
Right.
have found, right? And so it's like, do you remember one of my favorite conspiracy theories? I'm not huge on on conspiracy theories, but this conspiracy theory actually turned out to be true. And if anybody remembered Monopoly from McDonald's,
Yep.
there was this big theory that somebody inside was doing this because all the winners were in this one small kind of area. And what ended up happening was the guy who was in charge of those first few big games had all of those and paid people, met people, knew people, and basically paid them money to claim it. And so there's a lot of that that's gone on in different realms and in different areas. And so what's the likelihood that somebody like Mark Hoffman, who was, I would argue, probably one of the best counterfeiters in modern times,
Yes.
and who's to say he didn't do something like that? I mean, the timing's right, the identification is, if it wouldn't have been for that little item, nobody would have even noticed. Um, Cool stuff, really cool stuff. Hey, 75 and pennies, good to see you. Thanks for
75 and
coming in.
penny.
What's going on, Crafty? How you doing, bud?
Yeah, I think that our coinage is going to change drastically in the next 10 years.
Well, if
Just
we
because
don't
technology.
if we don't get a handle on technology and do something, our mint needs to get off their happy. Well, hold on.
Right.
Let me tone my attitude down. Um, the mint needs to make some significant changes, or we're going to have a situation. Is Coin Junkie? Who are my Canadian brothers and sisters in the chat right now? I know we have a couple of them in here.
Well, even the
Renting Instant
Canadas,
Hat.
the Toonies, they're
I was
counterfeited
just
all the
going
time.
there. The camel toe.
Yeah.
The camel toe. You guys know what the camel toe is? Have you ever heard that?
I have never heard the term. I just know that I've watched a couple of Canadian coin roll hunters, and like one of them is Cad Roll Hunter. He's
All right. So when we're talking about, when we're talking about the camel toes, you have the bear, and I don't know what year it is, so my Canadian brothers and sisters will have to clarify. No, Ray, we're not going there. That can come, sometimes those are called camel humps. But you have the coin, and on the, hey Siren, what's going on? On the toe, instead of it being the three, it's just
bear claw.
just
Yeah.
the two, right? And there are millions of them, and yeah, kid friendly.
Yeah, that Cad Roll Hunter hunted a box of toonies, and I think he said he found like near 20 of them in a box that he got from the bank. They don't even
So
try to they don't even try to get rid of them anymore.
no, they don't, and because they're so plentiful, there's so many
Yeah.
of them across different years. And they'll tell you, and people who search coins will tell you the years. They know exactly which ones they are. And I wanted it's like the 13 or something like that. But what's funny is I I have talked to him periodically. I need to follow up with him. But when I first started the channel, me and a crazy dude, I love him to death, found it buried. Um, he would do stuff. We would go on. This dude's crazy. He streams late at night, into the morning, and he would do these things, and he would always find these. We went through a box, and we found like 80
Yeah.
in a box of toonies. Like, and it was just like, he's like, oh my God, there were like 5 or 6 in each roll. And when you start thinking about the disruption to the economy, they kind of just are like, they take them, right? Yeah, if I do it this way, I hide my face, so I had to turn it around. Um, I had to drop by Frost off this morning for a church function at 7:30, and then had to get through traffic and get back because we got a closure. So it was a hat day today. But yeah, so I mean, there's a number of those things, and I mean, how many counterfeits do we have circulating?
Who really
And
knows?
you can't go through and pull them out. You
Yeah.
just can't do that.
And like I say, with the technology, with computers and those CNC machines, it's only a matter of time uh, that we're going to have counterfeits that are almost going to be undetectable. So unless they start putting countermeasures in to combat something like that,
Well, can I rant for a minute?
you sure can. It's your channel. Rant.
So real quick, Coach, I've already done a little bit of that. It was actually a video. I'll go back through and see if I can find out which one it is, talking about the coins and what's coming out, and um, looking at the 2006 Coin Act, talking about the greatest generation. But I'll do a couple of them because that coin, actually, we talked about it live too. I'll see if I can find those, and then I'll give you the bookmarks, tell you where they're at. Because Paula and I think Eric, you were there too. We
Yeah.
talked about the greatest generation coin, talked about the designs. Um,
A lab diamond is not counterfeit because they're selling it as a counterfeit. They're selling it as artificial.
there's well, the the problem with lab, and we can get into all of
Well,
those.
if somebody asked a
Yep.
question and they've asked it twice now, I've seen it scroll by.
Yeah,
And
let me get back in there. So what was the question?
that was Azure is a lab grown diamond counterfeit.
No. But the problem is that it's kind of like um if you have a replica, okay, replica. It's named a replica. It's named as a copy. It's
Yeah,
named
that's
as
what I was saying. A
a
lab
model.
diamond is,
It's named as whatever.
yeah.
Then no, because it's a replica. It's a replica diamond. It's a lab created, and you'll see this. And there are fancy ways of utilizing the terminology, just like with coins, right? You'll see on these silver coins where it's you know 100 grains or 999 grains of silver.
Yeah.
Um, and so there are ways that people utilize stuff to kind of
Yeah. And people don't
fool
realize
people.
how light 0.999 grains
But it's
is.
the same thing with clothing. It's the same thing with coinage. It's the same thing with diamonds. It's all in the marketing. If they tell you it's authentic and you buy it, then it's counterfeiting. Then it's illegal. You have consumer protection acts and things that are in place. And if they have sold it to you, they show you certificates as it being authentic, not lab grade, not anything like that, then yes, that is a crime. But if you buy it and they tell you that it's a gemological recreation, or they'll say stuff like,
They'll sell them
um,
as diamonds. They just say that they're lab created diamonds. And the difference is there's never any inclusions in them. They're
well,
perfect
that's not true. So some of the ones that they try to pass off as real, they put
inclusions.
inclusions into them.
Yeah.
So they generate inclusions into them to make them look more authentic. Um, but when we're talking about counterfeit, when we're talking about stuff like that, you have to look at things like heat treated, um, because heating a diamond or heating a great stone. I don't have my gemstones up here. One of my favorite gemstones is tanzanite, and one of the major issues with tanzanite is that they heat it, and they heat tanzanite, even authentic tanzanite, and they heat treat it to make it a darker blue because tanzanite it's a volcanic byproduct, right? And so you get these really, really deep, deep hue, purple, bluish colors. Absolutely fabulous. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous color. If you guys are interested in that, there's some people that are in chat that are really, really good
Yeah, my
with
wife.
this stuff. We'll do a little story. We'll do the color enhancement discussion and all that stuff. I love doing this. If you guys are interested in that, we can do that.
Yeah, my
And
wife.
have,
Her hoarding area is
yeah,
gemstones and stuff like that. She's
yeah.
got
In Tanzania, there's 4 major blocks. Block D's run out. When Block D ran out, price went through the roof. I've got some really, really cool ones. But again, talking counterfeit coins, counterfeit diamonds, gold, silver, all of that stuff, you have to really understand the labeling, the marketing, and know what you're looking at, because that's where a lot of people get caught. When you see these ads, and I'm doing a short, it's going to be released in a couple days. I've already have it up, but I'll give you kind of a sneak peek about what's going on. There was an ad that I received late at night when I was doing kind of video editing and stuff that came across about a $100 gold bar, and it had whether your favorite or your most hated Donald Trump on it. Well, when you look at the labeling, they're like no strings attached, no worries. There's nothing tied to this. And it's good. All you have to do is put your credit card information in this site and we'll ship it to you. All you're paying for is shipping. No,
right.
no. Uh, you got to be really careful. So what I did is I took pictures of it, kind of zoomed into it, and the guy on there looks like he's Asian descent. He doesn't look like, and you can see kind of tooling in the original thing where
Yeah.
they kind of built the hair, like they took another image, added some stuff on, and made this gold bar that for $29.99 shipping and handling overnight, you can have this $100 gold bar. It's not gold, and they very clearly state, but it's fancy wording. So what
Right.
happens? You go back and you say, "Hey, this isn't real gold." They're like, "Well, we didn't say it was."
That's when they say it's 0.999 grains of real gold. That's how
Or
much they put in the
yeah,
plating.
well, yeah, and so you got to be really, really careful. Take care, Papa York. Be well, be blessed, brother. Um, And yeah, but yeah, so you got to be really careful. So I've kind of made it, if you guys are watching my shorts lately, I've kind of made it a mission to point out some of these things and what's the language that they use? What is it that's deceiving? Um, I got to be a little bit careful because I don't want to become a target because a lot of these people all work together. Um, and I don't want to become targeted for the guy who's stirring up trouble for him because they can make your life hell.
Oh yeah.
Because it's a million, it's a I would say counterfeiting is $1 billion industry. And so
If
when you
not
step on
more.
the wrong
If
people's
not
toes,
more.
you got to be careful. Yeah. Well, look at the $508 billion. Okay, you got me stuck on this freaking stupid trivia thing, Eric. I know more about fake sandals than I ever wanted to know.
Yeah.
508 billion dollars.
For
The
slippers.
next closest one is like 52 billion,
Yeah.
right? It's the amount of money on fake sandals is insane. Insane. Yeah, gold clad coin. Right? Yeah, there's some really weird language and you got to be careful with that because it'll bite you in the butt and it'll sneak up on you. And there's a lot of people, i.e., hint, hint, wink, wink, certain mints that sound like Cadbury that will sell you make-offs or reproductions, for lack of a better word. What's the plate company? Remember them?
Oh, not Franklin Mint.
No, the other one. There were two. So Franklin Mint does a lot of
They do a lot of plated
um,
stuff, but they do a lot of real stuff too.
they do a lot of real stuff, but again, you got to be careful. You got to read the language.
An interesting fact
Um,
about that 0.999 grains of gold. They are making 2,000 coins out of an ounce.
And they're charging you
$13
price.
shipping or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's like you guys, if you haven't seen this, go watch the video I did. It was on the Premier Train on the fake site. So you go to my channel, look at the little icon, the icons. Oh my god, I need more coffee. Look at the thumbnails, and you'll see one that says counterfeit coin, combating counterfeits, which is the series that I'm doing, talking about various counterfeits and stuff. And look at the one that says websites. And there are websites that you can get a whole set. Now I'm talking a whole set of Morgans for the good price of $369.99.
Yes.
Right. A whole set of peace dollars, $268. Well, the peace dollars actually say copy on them, but the Morgans don't.
That's right,
Right.
Jackalope.
Oh, yeah, 0.24 carat. Yeah, exactly. And you really have to be careful. And you know, folks, I've said this in 1,000 videos. I'll say it 1,000 more times. I can't change the world myself, but if I can prevent you from doing something or learning something that will do that, I'm going to do my best, right? And I'll be point frank with you guys. I've learned a lot over the last year, but there's so much I don't know. And so when I learn something, I want to share it with you. But what really pisses me off is you guys know by listening to what I do, and I'm going to step out of here. I'm going to walk away from the camera for just a minute and I'm going to grab something because I'm about stories. And our greatest stories come from our elderly population. They've been there, they've done it, they've seen stuff that we will never see. They had their hands on stuff. I think about this. Who in the chat is over 65 years old?
Sorry about the noise. Printer went off.
No worries, not a big deal. Okay. If you're over 65 years old, then I want you to think about the coins from 1909 or the coins from 1914 or 22. And they were only 30 years old, 35 years old. They're like our 1990 coins now. They had rolls of them. Who knows what they had in their hands? Who knows what they got to look through? Who knows what they found before it was a thing, right? And these stories are lost if we don't tell them. And we have an obligation to protect those folks from getting duped by these people who would use tricky terminology, lawyer speak, and rob them blind. And it pisses me off. It makes me extremely angry. We have a good-hearted person in our community that people frequently try to take advantage of. And Mama Bear, Paula, when this happens, goes ballistic. And I have called out some people on that privately and one person publicly. We have to protect our older generation. They are the wealth of knowledge. And if you think about history, like genuinely you think through history, how were histories told? It wasn't people changing this stuff in the history books. It was word of mouth. We told stories.
Yep.
We sat around. We listened to the old folks talk. They told us and they taught us. I don't know if we have any I just went blank.
In 2
I
hours,
hate it
it'll
when I
come
do
back.
that. Shriners. Thank you. Shriners. How are the histories told? They're not written down, they're told. They're talked about, they're discussed, they're studied, right? Because when you talk and you repeat and you tell the story, nuances change and details change. But when the histories are lost, if you leave it to other people to write them down, look at our textbooks, right? The Alamo, huge area for Texas. It's a page. It's not even a chapter anymore in Texas history. It's a page or two. So tell your stories,
Well, they don't even
right?
teach, most schools don't even teach about the Holocaust anymore. And there's actually young
And
people that don't
that is a
believe it
shame.
happened.
Yeah.
Yep, they
Yeah.
don't even believe
History is
it happened.
power.
That's
Um,
right.
Yep. So I'm gonna Eric, do me a favor. Can you bring up a coin and talk about something for a minute? I'm gonna walk around the
Um,
corner and grab something because I want to um
what kind of coin?
me's got jokes. I gotta pin this one. Frosty's telling stories. Paula's gentle and calm.
Let's see what we get.
Paula is a defensive mama bear and she protects people. She loves this hobby. She is not vindictive. She is passionate, and you have to understand that. And because she will defend this hobby, but she will defend her friends to the hilt. She will go to the ninth degree to make sure that people are taken care of. Paula is an amazing person, and don't let that apparent every once in a while rough demeanor make you think anything less of her. She is a brilliant and kind-hearted person. Um, but yeah, so I'm going to step away. I'm going to pull something up because I had somebody, I don't know if he's in chat, but if
Here,
he's
hold
not, but I
on just
want to share
one
something with
second.
you guys.
And I got my microscope turned on, so I've got to get to the sharing part of it.
Yeah, no worries. You do it and then I'll share it up and then I'll step away for just a second and grab this because this is something else I want to share with everybody. Oh, guess what? Germania Mint started following me on my Instagram. I posted something about one of their things and tagged them in it. They started following me. Yes.
Nice. Is that good?
Germania Mint is big in silver and gold, or in silver. They're a German company. They do some really, really neat stuff. And I just got noticed that I was like, yes, it's cool. It's fun. It doesn't mean
All right.
anything. It's just cool to have a big company follow you. And I don't put very much stuff on there, but anyway, is what it is.
Let me get a page up and then I'll
What
get
is
this.
Instagram? Yeah, no, I got you. They do some really cool stuff. And the latest one that they've done with the dog and the tree and the gold inlays and oh man. Yeah, Germanium Mint puts out some really cool stuff. See, I wish our mint would stop and actually take some lessons from Perth Mint and the Canadian Mint and Germania. And I mean, could you imagine if we actually had some really cool things, really nice coinage? That would be so cool.
Show you a couple
Ooh, what
half
is this
dollar
goodie?
stuff. That is a 1964D Kennedy half dollar in MS 64, and it's RPM number 5.
That is cool. It
So
looks like you can,
that is D over D to the south. That is the D.
yeah, and you can almost see where they that when they have to hit the coin hard, it looks
Yep.
like there's almost like a dent there.
Yeah, it does. It does. It also has a little bit of machine doubling looking at it on the
That's
top of the
cool.
mint part.
I'll be right back.
Okay. And then this one we have here. Oh, yeah, why not? This is an interesting one. And it says RPM number 1. And I always wondered about this because it comes with multiple obverses. And they don't list the doubled die as being a double die. And to me, it is too strong to be the master die doubling that they talk about. You can see it right in the W right here. Top loop coming down, and then of course, let's see if we can get it better. You can see it in the T's. I mean, it's definitely there in the 4. But I always wondered why they never listed that. There's that one I got. And then we have that one's that one. Number 3, which is FS503. And that one is to the north, which is kind of cool. But that's some of the stuff I've gotten over the last few months. And then, of course, I got these too. Trying to do stuff other than pennies, because I do show and tell of pennies all the time. Let's see, there's one. There's another one.
So I'm only seeing the one screen. Oh, you got, are you sharing the other one?
Yeah, I'm just getting different coins out. I'm just trying to show other coins besides pennies. Here's a dime.
Let me make you big. Hold on just a sec. That's a little bit bigger.
And that's RPM number 6 on a 46D dime. That's what you look for when you're coin roll hunting or you buy constitutional silver. That is the stuff that you're looking for in your constitutional silver. Here's a 1952 S. That's a good one right there. And it can become quite relaxing and interesting just to search this kind of stuff. Plus, there's extra value in it.
So put that one back there, please.
Okay.
Okay. So the reason that I want you to do this is there's a couple of things on here that I want you to talk about.
Okay.
Okay. So we have the opportunity here to kind of talk. So some of the people in chat will know this. Some of the people in chat will not. So let's talk about some of the things that we're seeing on this particular coin. So what can you see? Can you use your mouse on this particular screen?
I think I can.
Outstanding.
Oh, no,
okay, so let's talk about the
see it?
replenishment mark. Okay. And let's show people what they're seeing, because there's two things you can see that really make that S stand out. That S over S.
You can see
northwest.
Let's see. Let me get on this page so I can see what I'm doing. All right, you can see this pointer. All right, right there it is northwest, and then you can actually see the bottom of the S right in here. So like in probably very good and lower, you wouldn't see this. It would be worn away.
So now the other thing that I want to look at is, so obviously by looking at this coin, this is a later die state.
Yeah, it's actually a later die state, and it's not a great strike either. But you can tell late die state. You get what's called die flow. And these lines right here, all pushing to the outer edge. This is like die fatigue, or some people call it. Oh, see, now I just went blank. Die deterioration. That they'll call it die deterioration doubling. Those are not doubled dies. But that is the reverse. We look at the obverse, and the obverse might not be the same die state because they don't necessarily change both dies at the same time. Sometimes, and that was to that 64D. See this? It's still later die state. You can see the die flow pushing out towards the rim. And that's basically, I guess you would call it kinetic energy. As it hammers the coins, the metal starts flowing outward. Nice little die crack in the head there. But that's what I was showing on that 64. I don't know if you were there with the RPM 1. that this one has a different obverse than a lot of them do. And it has a double die on it. Whereas if you get the later die states or die stages, let me look and see if it's the later or the earlier.
Ethan.
Yeah, the earlier die
Oh.
stages have a double die.
Steven's got jokes. That's hilarious, dude. Yeah, so this and Crafty, this is exactly why I wanted him to do this. So one thing, Eric does this so much that the stuff he does, he sees this stuff, so he knows what's going on. But every once in a while, it's good to just kind of slow down and say, what exactly are we looking at?
Yeah, see, like right
And-
here, that's
so-
a double die.
Hey, hold on real quick. I got to diverge everybody. Hey, Joe. Okay. I need you to do me a favor. Okay. I made your icon, brother.
But you can see it right in here, up on the S, on the U. Might even be able to see it you can, on the Y of Liberty, on the T. So this is on most of the coin. Little bit on In God We Trust. Just see
Okay,
it
so
on the
let's-
I in the end.
Let's show that. Let's show them exactly
Right
what you're
here.
talking about.
There's a little line cut in right here.
Okay, so here's a good question. Okay, and yeah, Joe, by the way, I couldn't resist, brother. What is the difference? So when they're looking at, and we're talking about new eyes, people who have not done this before, people who have not looked at it before, and they're just trying to get in. How do they determine the difference between this and mechanical doubling?
All right, mechanical doubling. See if I can do this without an explanation. This N right here, see the double die on the bottom of the N. If it was mechanical doubling, let's go from the vertical on the end. That makes it a little easier to describe. On mechanical doubling, it would go up the side of this right here, and it would be on the inside of this vertical and on this vertical. It would take part of this dimension. You got point A and point B, where my little pointer is. If it was mechanical doubling, there would be a third point, and it would be in the middle of those 2 points. That's a good reference on how to tell mechanical doubling from real doubling, because there is some doubling. You always see people, that doubling is not the same height, and it's not round, it's flat. There is some doubling, like I can show you a 1956 cent, I believe. Let me see if I can find it real quick. We just found it in one of the reveals that I did. All right, let's see. Be the last one. It's not there. We'll do 58D. There's one on Liberty that I have seen. On Liberty.
So Invisible River Edge says notches, and notches are definitely going to be one thing that you're going to be looking for. So when you look at the edges, the points of the coin,
Yeah, you get
So
like a
like-
serif.
the serif, right?
Yeah.
You're always looking for more than one. Now, sometimes it's really hard to see. And when you're first starting out, you're going to miss a majority of them.
All right, right here is a double die that I have seen on Facebook. People say that's machine doubling. That's not
sharing
machine
something?
doubling. Right here. Let me see if it's actually showing.
It's not. I
It's
still
not.
see the same one.
Okay, hold on. Let me go and get here. I guess I got to share a different window.
You can close it and then open it back up. That's fine. Unless if you didn't share your screen, and you just shared the window or the application, then yeah, you probably have to do it over for you. And Joe,
right here.
and Joe, that's one of the things it's really important to understand. Any year, any coin, doesn't matter,
All right.
can
Present-
have machine doubling on it. Anyone. So it's really, really, really common, and there's
All right.
so many reasons why you can have it.
That should show it.
I see you're 58.
Now, right under the B, that is barely on the die. But you can see dimension A, dimension B. It's got the full thickness of the B in Liberty. Or as if it was
Can you do me a
machine
favor real
doubling.
quick?
Yes.
Make that aspect of your screen a little bit bigger.
You're talking Chinese to me.
Okay, so right now you have your copper coin side up, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if you hold your control key down
Yes.
and you use your mouse key, it'll actually make those photos bigger. There you go.
All right. Now, can you see my pointer too?
Yeah, and that also helps you make it full screen.
Yeah. I'll have to remember that.
Yep.
But right
Tips
here,
and tricks here at Frosty's.
yeah, I have seen this on Facebook where people are saying that's machine doubling. That is not machine doubling, because machine doubling would take away. And let me get back to this. Here's the bottom of the B, not the doubling, but the bottom of the true B. Then you have the inner loop of the B. So the bottom is dimension A, the top is dimension B. If this was machine doubling, it would take off of that dimension. It would make that dimension smaller. If you understand what I'm saying. Machine doubling consumes the actual device, whereas true doubling does not consume the actual device. It adds to the device.
Yep.
It adds thickness. Like you look at, let me see. Let me get another one
60.
here.
You know a really good one?
I do.
60, large over small.
That's a good
43. 40. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a thick beastie. Yeah, that's a thick beastie. I did a video on this.
one. Right there is the extra thickness from the doubled die. You can even see it on the 1, the diagonal on the 1, diagonal on the 4. It's amazing. If this
Sounds
was
good,
machine
Joe.
doubling, it would be a shelf and it would consume it. It would be like you'd see this much of the true dimension of the 9.
Yeah, no worries, Crafty. And again, this is why, again, and I do this stuff within the technical realm as well. I will be doing trouble ticket support and be like, hey, go check, pull up your radiology machine, pull up this item. And they're like, well, hold on, how do I get there? Sometimes we do this so frequently that we just walk through and show stuff. So periodically we'll slow things down and take them to a very, very, very basic level, because it's really easy for me to go, okay, so what exactly are we seeing? Where Eric is like, okay, well, what they're seeing is this. You know what I mean? Now you can't, if you were to see this, you can't miss it.
No, you can see that without any magnification.
Yeah, you don't need anything to see this one. But most of them are not going to be this pronounced. If you happen to find, and there are some really cool ones. The other one that I wanted him to show was the 60 small date over large date.
I don't know where that is. It's not in this
And-
box. I should say that. Oh,
Say that again.
Here's one. Here's a 60 small or large over small date, which is different than the one you wanted me to show. I don't know where my copy of that is that you were asking about.
Yeah.
But right here, let me get back to my scope. So I'm going to have to unshare this.
No worries. You're good. But yeah, if you guys ever in one of my streams can't see what we're talking about, raise your hand or put the stop sign up and say, hey, where is that? I know talking to Parvis, one of his frustrations is they expect me to know what they're looking at. And it's like, well, they're showing us see, that's so pretty. God, that's a good looking. But the thing is it's like when you're going through a reveal, right? You have a whole bunch of coins to look at. Sometimes we need to do, and Eric, you've done this. Chuck has done this. I want to continue doing this. Live coin Q&A does it. And that's take a session where it's like, how do you identify it?
Right. And I try
Right.
to do that. That's why I try to identify the coins as I'm finding them. But like right here, you can see there's actually, you can see the O, the small O is inside the large O. And then you can see the small 6 right here. And then you see the large 6 on top of it.
So ATS on your comment. Okay. So here's the thing. There are people who are very adept at finding varieties and never use a scope. A scope just makes it easier. Now, I use a scope because I have eye issues, even after my surgery, seeing close. Now, I can see an at's ass from 100 yards, but I can't read my phone. I can't see things in a loop very well. So I have certain things that I have to do and whatnot. But I always use the loop for verification, for validation. But
That's
there
what
are
I use.
people that never, ever, ever use or touch a scope because
Well-
in their, and Eric, you talked about this the other day, right? You have to have a line in the sand.
Yes. Yes.
You have to.
This is
When
what
you're-
I use.
Yep.
When I'm searching coins for myself, I don't use the scope. I use
Hey, Mom.
that loop or that loop. This loop is a 14x loop. Bausch and Lomb. Eye relief is very good on it, so it doesn't mess with your eyes. A lot of strong loops will mess with your eyes because they don't have good eye relief. I don't know how many are familiar with cheap gun scopes, but that's another thing. They'll start messing with your eyes.
Hey, real quick,
Sure.
Eric, I need to do a public disclaimer other than the fact that my mom's in chat. Can you grab that 14x loop again? Okay. So for those of you who don't know, Eric has Sasquatch hands. So that loop is not actually that small.
It's about 5/8 of an inch, and this one's
No,
about
I'm just picking on you, bud.
yeah,
No,
is about
people look at it
three-quarters.
as like, oh my God, how do you look through that little thing? It's actually normal size. He's just got really large hands.
I'm just a big person,
He's a big dude.
but
Sasquatch.
yeah.
What does
search
Chuck
for
call you?
myself, huh? He calls
What
me
does Chuck
Squatch.
call you? Huh?
He calls me
Squatch.
Squatch.
Yeah, he calls you Squatch.
So
Yeah. But no, Eric's a big dude. But I just wanted, when he grabbed that, I started laughing. I'm like, it looks like a little kitty toy. But no, they're not
That's
small. But
10x
Hmm?
right there. That's a 10x right there that I was showing. I don't have my other. Now for a 10x, you can get a good 10x by a company called Belomo. That's over an inch across. It's a big loop and it's beautiful. It's got great eye relief. Loops are very strong. This is a 10x triplet, and a 10x triplet is better than a 10x, a straight 10x.
I use a 30x triplet.
30x. That's probably why your eye. Some people will call this a 30x because it's a 10x triplet, and they say that that's a 30x because it's three. What they do when they make a triplet loop is they take 3 pieces of 10x magnification and they glue them together. So that's what causes. Some people will call this a 30x loop.
Okay.
And some people will call this a 42x loop, but it is not. But if you
Yeah,
look
because
through
that's what I have is a 10 triplet.
if you look through a 10x that is just a straight 10x, you will only be able to see the magnification in the center of the glass. This adds eye relief, which is you see focus all the way from edge to edge of the glass. But Belomo Here, I can see there's a link. I think Amazon sells both of these. The Bausch and Lomb usually are around $70. Belomos, I think, are around 35.
Yeah, Kevin, I used to have a set of those. Unfortunately, they broke. They're the kind that have the magnifying goggles used for like electronics or fine-tuned jewelry. I need to get me a new set. Those were really great because you could just set the coin in front of you and just look at it. They had the lights and everything on it. They're absolutely awesome.
All right. I don't see Belomo loops. I wonder if they are not, they are from Belarus. So I'm thinking that you can't get them here anymore.
Oh yeah. The one thing about UV light, be very clear on UV light. Frequent use of UV light to look at coins. You can see stuff on coins. However, overuse of UV light causes macular degeneration. So from somebody who suffers it in right eye, be very, very careful
And
how
I can
much
tell
UV
you,
light you subject yourself to.
I can tell you that use a good loop. Don't say, well, this $5 loop is, if you're not looking at a lot of coins, a $5 loop is good enough. If you're looking at rolls and rolls and rolls of coins through a loop, spend $30 to $100 and buy yourself a good loop. Your eyesight will love you for it.
Yeah. No, Kevin, I know you were joking, but there's some people that might not know your humor. So I just wanted to make sure that, yeah, I use UV flashlight for hotels.
But I don't see the Belomos anymore. And I just was remembering with the Russian war and all that going on, they probably don't have any in stock.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
But
Yeah.
then you
Now
got Bausch and Lomb.
they had one, live coin Q&A. Shay has one that he utilizes all the time. And, that's funny. Me sent me a Crossfire 2 scope for his rifle. And he said, "This is my scope of choice." But so there's some of them that have lighting on them. So you don't need to worry about, because when you're looking at a lot of coins, sometimes the light area you might be in may not work very well. So having the ones with light definitely help. But in
Yeah.
position of lighting, so Eric, I'm going to have you. I didn't mean to cut you off, but as soon as you're done, make it think your thought. I also want you to talk. If you can show
I
the
can.
position of lighting.
Well, lighting, here's a better tip than just lighting. When you search a coin, let me get this cleared up where I can. Here's a penny. Don't just hold the coin and go like this and say, "Oh, I don't see nothing." Do this with the coin. Turn it. Move it around. Because some doubling might not be visible from some angles. The light might block it out. So always turn your coin, tilt your coin. And another thing, they have them on their website. All right. I know that I got mine from Amazon, and Amazon did not have them. So, but yeah, when you're looking at coins, it's not just put them under the loop and look at them. And I can tell you another hint. Once you find something, finding more stuff will be much easier. It's finding that first big thing. Then you're like, oh, like with the double die, you see all these people, is this a double die? And they're becoming frustrated because everything's machine doubling that they're finding. But when they do find a double die, they go, oh my God, it's been here. I've been seeing this all the time. This is it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Did I get my package yet? I did not, Joe.
I didn't get mine either, Joe. He's like, good, because I did send you one. Hey, so I told you guys I was going to step away, and thank you for showing those. But I want to do something. I want to go back to what I was talking about with the stories, and I want to read something to you guys. Now, you guys know that Frostbite coins and collectibles because I like to collect other things. Okay. What about those Flex Vision glasses? Um, Flex Vision, are they the ones that drop down?
No,
Because if
they
they're
are
the
the
ones
ones
that
that
drop
have
down,
the knobs that you can make them any diopter correction.
yeah, so those are really cool, but they're pricey. But I'm going to share this with you. Okay, so I'm going to show you my screen. So this was a book that was sent to me. You guys know that I collect ships on coins, um, posters, collectible art, whatnot. I love ships. And this was Operation Cell from 1976. And it was sent to me by Doug Riza. You know who Doug Riza is?
I do.
Okay. And he sent me something. And this is why when I talk about protecting and talking about counterfeits and protecting people, it's this kind of stuff that makes me really want to make sure that these people who are kind and generous and want to share their story don't get taken for a ride. It's important to me. But he said, "Hey, Frosty, I found this while I was cleaning and thought you might enjoy it. I was there with a friend, my 16-footer. It was a Chris Craft wooden outboard boat. I think it was a kit. Nothing usual, except waking up on the 4th of July, 1976, with a destroyer anchored up at your bow. Yeah, 16 up against a 16-footer up against that. It was metal for miles. But the 16 had its advantages. It's like being so close to Liberty Island that during the evening of the fireworks, I had to pull my anchor across and move because the sparks were landing on my boat. I believe this booklet came from my brother who was working on the coast, working on Governor's Island, was with the Coast Guard at the time. Maybe you can hunt down some of the silver coins or medals that were on page 38. Damn, they must be spectacular in hand. Enjoy, my friend, Doug." See, this kind of stuff, people who are kind and gracious and want to tell their stories and send the pictures of the boats that were there, the different countries, the things like that. Why do we need to protect folks who are older than us? Why do we need to make sure that our community is aware of what's going on? Why do we need to do those kind of things? It's because I wasn't there. I don't know anything about that. I've read it in the books. It was one of the greatest comings together of uh, military and civilian ships that had been seen in years. Right? Huge, huge for our country. 4th of July, 1976. Also, me's wife's birthday. Right? So I know things that happened that day, but I was never there. So that story has now just been told exactly. That story has now just been told to a bunch of people. And this is why I am so passionate about making sure you guys know and gals know that if I find something that's misleading that might hurt one of my friends or one of my followers or members or subscribers or people that may periodically just come into the channel, people who don't even know who the hell Frostbite is, I want to make sure I take care of you guys. So this is why. This is why. You know what else I got here? Remember the little thing that I did for Aunt Laura? Apollo 11, Apollo 13. She saw the launches. How freaking cool is that? I'm a space nut. I love the space program. I love all things that, other than the craziness that was NASA, I love all things that are space related. So being able to hear her stories and her send me a copy of a picture of her family out by their property watching Apollo 13 take off. I've seen the video. Tom Hanks did an amazing job in that role, but it's the story that intrigues me. And this is why I'm passionate about protecting the community. This is why I'm passionate about making sure that you all know what's going on. So this is why I do what I do. having people like Eric, it's reversed. Having people like Eric and Paula and folks come up and talk about the stuff that they do. I want you guys to be informed. So huge, huge, huge. But Eric, I'm going to deviate real quick.
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to, I say this jokingly. I usually say this with Paula. I'm going to take my stream back over because I got a couple, but you know, I love, I love having you all up here. And sometimes people are like, man, Frosty, it must be nice having a channel that you don't have to be at. I love it because if you guys are engaged and having fun and learning, I'm here. Exactly what I'm have you here for. And so I got a couple call outs. So YouTube me, raise your hand, buddy. Say hi. Him and I have been doing a lot of trading back and forth, right? This is what the hobby is. And he knows that I've been working on my Merc Dime book and he has sent me a couple stuff. But then AZ Coins said, yo, look at this. I got it up sitting here. Thank you. Okay. It freaked me out when I got this, by the way, bud, because I thought you taped them in, but they're actually in plastic. They're not taped in. Scared me for a second. But he sent me two that I needed. I sent him one that I needed. And so I want to call these guys out because it's like, look, we're getting a trade. Tiger Stacker, you guys know that I've been working with Tiger Stacker and taking the numismatic and the stacking side and looking about what do you have to show versus what are you stacking? What do you have in your stack that you're missing, right? So collaborating and partnering and sharing back and forth, you don't always have to buy the coins. You might be able to trade out something that you have for something else, right? We have a lot of cool people in our community. And I've got some fills. So I'm going to be doing a video on this very shortly, filling up my Merc Dime book. But me also did something else that was fabulous. He knows that I'm going to start working on SLQs. $5 worth of SLQs, right? Hey, what did he want in exchange? A 20-cent piece. I had two, got both of them basically the same day, right? And so trading is fun because if you have something and you know somebody needs it, it's a huge boon to them. And if you have something that they need, bam, it's a win-win, right? And so I want to call them out and just say thank you to those two guys for doing this. Joe has done stuff for me. Sterling Cannabis hooked me up with the peace dollars because he had a couple of them. They were his mother's birthday and just happened to be one that I needed. Eric, you sent me some cool varieties just because it's like, oh yeah, I'll send you one, Frosty. Right?
Yeah, I'll do that. I was going to send you those 53D RPMs. They're not
yeah.
EU, but they're like AU.
No, but see, that's the thing. For me, it doesn't matter because I'm collecting a certain year and I have a very specific reason why I'm collecting that certain year. But being able to do this kind of stuff is a lot of fun. And that's what this hobby is about. But I'm going to do a plug for St. Jude. Now, here in about 30 minutes, we have Coin Crew. But here in about 20 minutes, I'm releasing a short video. It's a video, not a short. It's a video for a call out for St. Jude. And this is going to be one of probably 4 or 5 that I do prior to the St. Jude auction, which happens on May 16th and May 17th, or March 16th. It's going to start 11 Central. So at 10:30, I think 10:30, 10:40, somewhere in that time frame, it's a 2-minute video. It's not a big deal. I want everybody from here to go look at that video and then head over to Coin Cruise afterwards. But I want everybody to share it out because as we work and I work and Paula works and live coin Q&A and copper coins, and as we work to enlighten people and teach people about the hobby that we enjoy so much, there's a lot of people not in our hobby, not in our community, whose kids are going through some of the worst things that any of us could ever imagine, and that's cancer. Hello, Paula.
Good morning.
And so I want you all to go check out that little short, and I want you to share it out and share it widely. The goal for St. Jude this year is a lofty one. It's $50,000. We are already about $2,500 into that, and we've just started February. Now we can do it. We can reach that goal, but we're going to need everybody to come alongside. Now, if you guys go to, if I can have Ray reach over and grab Ida Herring's link. If you go to Ida's site,
Yeah.
and you go through and you click on her community tab, then under her community tab, you're going to see two different posts. One of them is going to have the information on register. Everybody register. It's a requirement to be there. Everybody needs to go register for that. It's really easy. You click on the link, you fill it out, it takes just a couple minutes. And basically what this is going to do, it's going to link your email with your name, with your YouTube name behind the scenes. It's not going to be public. Nobody can see this but Ida and a couple people who are on the team specifically for that. But you need to register. Okay. Once you do that, there's going to be another one. It's going to be a spreadsheet. If you look at that spreadsheet has got all sorts of crazy goodness that has been donated for this item or for this auction. And this auction is going to, thank you. Appreciate that, Ringmaster Ray. The other item that is there is the link to St. Jude itself. Now, in the video that I'm going to do, it's going to be released here in just a couple minutes. There is a QR code. Okay. That QR code also exists in the spreadsheet. Amanda, you guys know we're a coin a card hobbyist, did a wonderful job putting that spreadsheet together, all the rules, the instructions, what the requirements are, the link to that, it's all included in that spreadsheet. So go look at that. That QR code points to St. Jude. It's very important that everybody knows that no money is going to Ida. No money is coming to me. No money's going to Paula. No money's going to Amanda. No money's going to Coin Crew. No money's going to Big Flip. No money's going to any of the folks who are going to help with this. It goes straight to St. Jude. The only money that goes to Ida is if you want to donate to help with shipping. That's the only money that goes to Ida. That's pure donation. Anything that's coming for one of the coins in the auction or the rounds or any kind of the quilts, anything like that goes directly to St. Jude. It's important you tell people that. It's important that they know. Now, here's the thing, okay? If you can't afford to bid, don't. Do not put yourself in any financial stress. There are people who will come along and support. You know how you can support? You can support by sharing the links out, talking with your family and friends, watching the stream, doing things like if you can only afford $5, do $5. If you can't afford $5, times are tough. Right now, my wife and I went to the grocery store the other day. We got a couple items for food. We got a couple items for household generic toiletries, and it was $140. We came back. It's like, what the hell did we buy? We get it. We understand. If you can't do it, do not put this on a credit card just so you can look like you're helping. Don't do it. Okay. Don't go into debt to do this. Don't get into financial straits to do this. You guys can help by doing things like sharing it out, commenting, okay? Being there, okay? Say a prayer to the kids, right? If you want to volunteer time at your local kids hospital, okay? Read a story to the kids. There's a lot of ways you can do it without doing financial, okay?
They can still send stuff too. They can still send stuff into, they can still send stuff until the end of the month.
Yeah. But do not put yourself in debt to do this. Please. Nobody wants that. Okay. There's no prizes for being on a list of some of these people who can drop thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. I don't have it. I have to support in different ways. Don't try to keep up with people who do. We have people in this community have lots of money. Don't try to keep up with the Joneses.
There's
Okay?
going to be plenty of little stuff too that's
Yeah.
going to be auctioned off. So,
And there's plenty of opportunity. But again, you can help by doing things like there's going to be lots of comment videos. You know what? I'm going to be doing a live stream. Probably I haven't determined this yet. Probably next Sunday, and it's just going to be me. I'm not going to have any panel members up. I'm going to be doing it through Streamlabs, and I am going to be walking through how, with just your basic Windows tools, you can create a short. How you can create a video to give everybody opportunity to put the word out. There's not going to be any panel members. There's not going to be anything. It's just going to be me. I'm going to be taking questions and I'm going to walk people through how to do certain things. If you're interested in doing it next Sunday, be there. Okay. So please, 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 please go check that out. And again, that video that I'm dropping is going to be dropping here in just a couple of minutes. Go over and check that out. Yeah. Anyway, support St. Jude. Okay. Help us out. It's a big lofty goal, but man, the stuff that they're doing is amazing. Okay. So Paula, how's grandbaby?
well, she was just in here. She left to go eat her vitamin.
So
she's fine.
Did you see my comment yesterday?
Which one?
You need to tell your kids that when the doctor said that they should have a change in their diet, that is not what they were talking about.
I did see that. That was funny. Come on. No! Hey. No!
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Paula's grandbaby swallowed.
Yeah, that's the picture that's up on the thing.
Ooh.
The picture that's up on the thing. That's my granddaughter's X-ray from last night. See that little round object in her belly?
Yeah.
Nickel?
Yeah, that's a
Quarter?
coin. That's a penny. It's a penny.
Zinc penny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it won't last long. It'll break down before she passes it.
She had vitamin zinc, right? It's already, well, actually, it's already in her, well, that was her upper intestine last night, but it's passing pretty fast. The poison control, so the story goes, she swallowed a penny, she freaked out, she came in the house, she took a nap, she woke up a couple hours later and she had a really high fever. So we were freaked out. So her mom called the poison control. And back when I was a kid, we didn't have zinc pennies. So, it was no big deal. No, it's not the 55 double diet. But I did ask her where she got it. So the poison control said something about all Taylor heard was zinc can be toxic. That's all Taylor heard. So we took her to the hospital. Well, the doctor called the poison control, and the poison control told the doctor that's for kids that are chronic penny swallowers. So not a big deal, but Taylor does have to sift through her poop for the next couple days.
Nice.
I think it's hysterical. But yeah, so that's it. It was an adventure last night.
So
that's an expensive penny right there. That's an expensive penny.
What comes to mind? You remember Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke?
Yes, of course I do.
Followed the little bug around for 3 days.
Yeah.
Stash.
Yeah.
Oh, too much fun.
My goodness. So
I'm glad she's doing well.
Yeah, she's the thing that they worry about is if it gets stuck.
Yeah, it gets lodged.
Yeah, it gets lodged. So they said if it hasn't come out in a week, to follow up with her doctor and they'll see where it's at.
Hey, Paula, look in chat. You see Joe McBride's emoji?
Where is it? Up? Is it? Oh, yeah, the troll.
It's Mr. Bikini.
Mr. Bikini. What?
What's his name? Taikini or whatever his name is. It's hilarious. Anyway, so that's Joe.
Oh, the Mankini guy?
Mankini, there you go.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Joe, you gonna wear
It's-
one of those?
Oh, please God, that would be horrible.
He gets to cut his hair too for this year, because last year is he said if we reached our goal, he was going to grow his hair out, no haircuts, no shave for a year. So this he gets to shave it, the St. Jude's. So yay.
Yep.
So I
All
missed
right,
your
folks.
stream. What did you guys talk about?
All sorts of weird stuff. We
Yeah,
talked
all
about
sorts of stuff.
it's the chit chat day. You know how it goes.
Machine
Um,
doubling, did a show and tell, did
Nice.
a story talk about, how information gets by. Found out that they did find the fifth V nickel.
The fifth V nickel.
Yeah,
The
how there was a story
1913?
that one was lost
the-
in a car accident in the road.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, and it was found in 2003.
Oh, I don't know.
I never heard the
The
story.
guy that had it. It never left his house.
Oh gosh.
We talked about sending your common link consents in for grading.
Yeah, you guys should have talked about not paying way too much for a common
Way too little.
1909 VDB on a duck race or whatever.
Right.
That kind of upset me last night. But anyway, I'm not going to talk about
Where?
that. No, I don't want to talk
I
about it.
did not
Okay.
talk about the 72 master die doubling. I will in the future, though, Joe.
Oh yeah, 72 master die doubling. That's a fantastic thing.
Yeah.
Kevin, Frosty taught me how I need to take the needs of my metals into consideration. They get tired and need a break.
Oh, yeah. We talked about die fatigue and we talked about die flow. We talked about.
Oh,
Man, I missed all the good stuff.
that was funny, dude. Okay, I'm gonna probably have to make a short out of that one. Oh, that's
All the
freaking
good
hilarious.
stuff.
Yeah, we talked. Invisible River Ranch donated a 20th ounce of gold for Raven Hawk's 20K giveaway tonight.
Oh, very
Make
cool.
sure you go check that out. All right. Well, folks, I'm going to bow out. I'm going to go get some stuff taken care of. I've got a thermostat in my house that went out, so I got to go get a replacement.
Oh,
because it's
for joy.
It got stuck with the heat on, and now it won't go off, and it's really hot in the house.
Oh,
So
gosh.
I've got to go.
Have a great
replace
day,
it.
everybody.
Thanks
See
for
you
coming
later.
up.
Oh
I'll
yeah.
see you next Saturday. Okay.
Bye.
Love you, my friend. All right, y'all. Well, as always, thank you for coming in, spending time with me. I appreciate it. Do me a favor. Ray has thrown the links for Coin Crew in chat, but do me a favor before you go there, go check out that video. I made it available for members. They gave me some feedback, so I remodified it. It's a little bit different. It's a whole lot better. So go watch that. It's a 2-minute video. Once that's done, go check out Coin Crew. Go over, head out their auction, say hi. Make sure you do the Frosty raid. Let everybody know that I sent them your way. All right, folks, be well, be blessed. And as always, I will see you in the streams. Have a wonderful day. I'm out.